We'll be putting together an art book of a lot of the assorted images I've done for prints and for other commercial clients that have never been seen in a collected form before. I want to make it easier for my collectors to get those images more than just on your computer, but in print, where you can kind of more casually come upon it. Although using your phone to look up images is casual, but to me it's not. I like everything to be on paper, and I like to have something all kind of collected and combined where you can get to it in a library. And so our intent is to get a full book together of a lot of those images which I've produced in the last 10 to 15 years that have really not been assembled before.
Ironside will not be seen tonight, so we may bring you the following special program.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's time for Word Balloon Live and another Oh Yeah Trek Watch. It's the final 3 episodes of Star Trek Discovery. God only knows what it was called. I don't remember, and I don't care. But
I say we should name each episode. We should all come up with a name for each episode. And I'm sad that we preempted Ironsides for this.
I know, that was a good show.
Yeah.
I found that online. I had to throw that in. I love it. Yes.
Don't look at me to name the episodes because every one of them is going to be bullshit.
No, this one was a weird episode title because it said something part 2, but it was a 3-part story. So I was confused when I saw it today.
Yeah,
actually,
this was part 2, and
yeah,
episode 1 of this season was part 1.
Yes.
So
really?
I had to read that twice. Yes.
Okay, I thought it was just me going nuts. I'm like, what?
We have to welcome our guest hater, Andy.
Andy Price, everyone. Exactly. Long time coming, Andy. We've been talking about Star Trek at conventions for the last couple of years, and now we finally get to do it here on the stream. So it's great to see you.
You too, guys. This is going to be great.
Okay, so the 3-part episode, even though there's 1 part and 2 parts, whatever. So episode 1, I'm gonna rename Rubbing the Nub. We're gonna rename it that because they got the little nub underneath the chair, so they're gonna.
Rubbing the Nub, yes.
Oh yeah, on their chair.
Episode 2 is gonna be called Spock Pinch, and then episode 3 is gonna be named Huh? Yeah, those are my episode names.
Yeah.
All right. I got mine here. Mine's called "What's the Deal with Tilly's Hair?" That's episode 1.
That's always yours.
No. I'll tell you why in a second.
The scene he's talking about.
Episode 2 was called. Is that what it was? Really? Seriously? I'll have to ask John and Franco what happened. That's what I was calling it. And then episode 3 was my God, thank God it's over. There you go.
John,
Yeah.
Come on, Andy, what are your names for it?
I don't have much to say because it really sucked and it was incredibly annoying. And I think the season ended with a whimper. And it was just another big ball of a mess that I don't understand. And
every time they came to something that I was like, oh, we might actually have something here, then they immediately smashed it before the end of the episode.
Real quick, do you think they saved all their money and put it into this last 3-hour movie? Because that's what they normally do. They wait.
I was going to say
they obviously didn't spend it on the writers. So
no, because they were spending all the money on the effects or something.
Well, yeah, they especially didn't pay the writers in the last episode because 3/4 of it was fighting. And
Well, speaking of the last episode, we're going to jump around all over the place. Okay. What's up with the elevators? Is it an elevator? Is it in the Twilight Zone? What's happening?
There's a whole city of space
So
between the shuttle, the turbo lift cars.
How big is this thing? I was like, holy, is that the elevator shaft?
yeah,
It looked like
No. No.
Attack of the Clones
So-
when they have the flying
Yeah.
car chase.
Yeah.
That's it.
Coruscant. Yeah.
So when they took the ship into the other ship, and then we went into the elevator shaft, I'm like, what is this like a Russian nesting doll? What's happening here? How many layers are there to this onion? And it still stinks, and it's making me cry.
All right.
Just
If we're
like
going
the
to
rest
talk
of the
about
crew.
if we're going to jump around, when the ship was in the other ship, whatever that thing's called, and it used the spore drive to go, why would it take the other ship with it? Wouldn't it just disappear within that ship? I was like, what is it hooked up to it like a hitch on the back of a U-Haul or something? I was totally messed up on that one,
I don't know.
because why couldn't they just transport into Starfleet headquarters? Because I don't know. Because they were on the outside. They're like, oh, we have to get in through the whatever surrounds the Federation thing. Why couldn't you just teleport inside of it?
I guess because they had a transporter jam in the ship, because they kept saying that.
A transporter jam,
It
though.
was beam over, and he said there's a transporter jam.
Well, I think Osira, is that her name?
Yes.
Is a completely different conversation we have to have. But
Yes.
Osira, like her crew, kind of her crew like jammed the signal so they couldn't do anything. You know, and then again, oh, that's right. Can someone please explain to me how Book's ship works? I can't. So there. But also, it was in the Discovery, which was inside the other ship, which was again, the nesting doll theory is confirmed.
It's true.
By the way, did you know Osira was played by Margot Kidder's niece?
Okay,
No.
let's get to that.
No,
Okay.
you know how I noticed it? Because when she took over the ship in episode 2, I don't even remember anymore. She sat down in the captain's chair, and for 1 second she did something, and I go, wow, that woman looks just like Margot Kidder. And I don't know why I thought that. And then I go to look, and it was her niece. I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of screwed up.
So I'm looking at Osira, and
Thank you.
I'm looking at her face, and I'm like, there's something really weird with the face. Is it the makeup? Does she have prosthetics on? And it was bothering me so much that after the first or second episode, I went and I looked up a picture of her, and I'm like, oh, she's a fairly attractive woman. I didn't know she was Margot Kidder's niece, but I'm like, she's fairly attractive. And I looked at a couple of different pictures, but then I'm thinking, why does she still look weird? She had this like weird thing with her face.
The makeup made her look like a pinched muzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm watching that too.
Yeah.
And I think it was actually, between the lipstick and the makeup, it probably kept her face tight.
Yeah.
Because she didn't get a lot of movement. And it
was distracting. Yeah.
And I started staring at her mouth, and I watched the lipstick glue her lips together as she was talking.
Yeah.
It was very distracting, right? It wasn't just me.
It really was.
No, so much so that you looked her up, and so did I, and that's when I saw the name Kidder, and I go, "Oh, Margot Kidder." I mean,
but she had, and again, very, very attractive woman, but with the green makeup, I guess the lighting or whatever made these creases in her face, and maybe what you're saying, Andy, with the lipstick and everything making it tight. She just looked like she had a speech impediment, but like in the weirdest way.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
And I noticed it when she first showed up, and you meet what is it, her nephew that she
killed? Yeah.
I noticed it on him first, that he was kind of the same way. She was worse.
Right. Yeah.
But that's when I realized it's got to be the makeup. It's got to be
an Orion facial thing.
Orion underbite, and then
kind of like the Trill,
the dot,
or the Bajoran ridges on the nose.
Yeah.
I kept getting a Wicked vibe. You know the play Wicked on Broadway. Yeah. This episode, she just looked like the Wicked Witch so much.
She was defying gravity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
The dominatrix outfit was an interesting touch too.
My favorite thing with Osiris was hers and Tilly's banter back and forth when Tilly's in the captain's chair from the previous episode.
And yeah,
it was like, back in the Next Generation days, you get a nuanced Patrick Stewart chess match with his adversary, but both Osiris and Tilly, it was like Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Or another lunchroom scene in Degrassi High School.
Or they were both upset that they both had weird haircuts.
Well, not only that, I liked how Tilly suddenly knows 19th century psychologists. You know, John, I think you're projecting on me. And I'm saying you're talking to an alien race that doesn't have a fucking clue what the hell a 19th century psychologist.
No, everybody knows in Starfleet Academy they all go through psychological
101.
training. Yes, come on.
There is the classic Trek 3s of history where it's two recognizable names and then a fake alien name. Like, we all know the Constitution, the Magna Carta, the Treaty of Epsilon 7.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but I liked it though. She did nail Tilly though in 2 seconds though. She goes, "Who are you kidding? You just want everybody to like you. Get the fuck off that ship." I was like, "That's it."
Like
after 3 years.
What's your catchphrase? What do you do? What do you say when you do your jump thingy?
Yeah.
You don't have a catchphrase? What do you say?
Oh, do you like how they telegraph that? And then at the very end, we get "Let's fly."
Let's fly.
Oh.
Technically, we're not flying. You know, we're just.
And I felt it coming. I felt my shoulders crunch up, and I felt my spine tighten. I was like, "Here comes her little catchphrase."
Well, and again, so much insubordination. I don't buy that. Okay, you're captain now.
No, it was justified, Johnny. Come on.
Because nobody else wanted the job. That's why.
Because everybody was screwing it up.
Saru quit. Tilly left.
But no, it was justified because, like, she did it her own way, even though it might have been the wrong way. She did it her way.
It was the Jane way. I told you she was going to be captain a couple weeks ago. I was like, "Oh, when are they going to make her the captain?"
Mitch. Everybody knew eventually she was going to be captain.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to break it to you.
No,
but it's not like you cracked the code there, Indy.
But here's a quick question. Doug Jones, who I just talked to his agent today about Terrificon.
Oh, cool.
Is he off the show now because they left him on that planet? I'm like, I guess he's gone.
I think they might have. They took his makeup off, then they put it back on. They don't know what to do with him.
That drove me nuts too.
Yeah.
But I did read that he's already up in Toronto shooting season 4. So his sabbatical will most likely mostly be off screen.
We talked about that a couple of episodes ago that he was starting filming.
It felt like when they gave the ship to Saru, I was actually kind of looking forward to that because I didn't like Saru a lot, and I thought, all right, let's see how he does in this kind of a position.
He did grow on me after a couple of seasons.
He did grow on me, but looking back, they purposefully tried to show him as an indecisive captain just to set it up for her. Because when you look back at the episodes now, he's like, "What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?" Every time that a decision came to him, he couldn't make the decision without going to everybody else. He couldn't do it. So in retrospect, they painted him as, "I can't do this captain thing. Give it to her."
So is that your setup, or is that the reasoning why he didn't consult anybody and just gave it to Tilly as second in command?
I guess.
I mean,
no. What was going on with the editing on that scene with Tilly? Because it was driving me nuts. Because they showed her hair in front, then they cut. It was in the back, then it went in the front, and I was like, "What the hell's happening here?" So
I noticed that there was one sign, one upshot where her hair was completely down, like it was a last minute.
Yeah,
do this scene.
We forgot to put that on, so film that. Yeah, I don't know.
This series is set up Burnham as the savior of the universe. Of course, you would be captain. Agreed, Dante. And there we go. Langley, don't get me started as Burnham as captain. I hate that the first black female captain. Sorry, got it in my face. Of a Trek show is also the character I dislike the most on all Treks. I agree.
Yeah. She's not the first black captain, though.
She's the first female black captain.
I could have swore in one of the movies there was one.
Siri was interjecting. Sorry.
She watched the show too. I hate the show.
We had a black captain in TOS during the M5 episode, I think.
No, I mean one of the movies. I could have swore there was a woman in a red, like admiral outfit or something.
Yes.
Either 4 or
yeah,
or 6.
not the Grissom. The yes, she had her hair up. Yes.
Yeah, I think it was in 4.
Burnham is not the first female black captain.
That's fair.
There you go.
Well, in all fairness, of a show like this or whatever, I mean, a one-off or something like that.
Well, she is technically, Andy, because this show's set before Star Trek 4, so technically she is the first one. All right, I got to hear. Was anybody nutty about the guy's makeup?
That's true.
He looked like Freddy Krueger without the hat. The other.
I thought that too.
Guy.
There was something about him that looked to me like Robert Englund.
Robert Englund, that's his name. Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
That alien that was on the planet that caused the burn, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Oh, the Kelpian? You thought looked like Robert Englund?
He looked like Freddy Krueger without the like.
That's Robert Englund.
Yeah, but when they would take the hat off in the Freddy Krueger movies, the Friday 13th, he looked like that character. Just something about the makeup.
The shape of his face, something he looked like.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So then explain to me how this guy caused a burn, because he had a meltdown. Like his feelings were plugged into like the lithium crystals.
Johnny knows.
Well, I had to read about it, but apparently, for real, because it made no sense.
I know.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. You had to read about it.
Yes.
Like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so they say that his DNA is tied to the dilithium of the planet.
And
then whenever he had an emotional outburst, that emotion would funnel through the dilithium and shoot out.
And also that
his outburst, the bigger wave went out.
And also that dilithium itself has some sort of subspace property that causes it to travel in the same way sound waves would or whatever. Yeah, and that's why it had such an outreach.
Yeah.
He's like the black bolt of Star Trek.
Yes.
Yeah.
He opens his mouth and it's the sound of his voice.
Like, since he was born here, he's now one with the dilithium, and the dilithium is one with him. And I was like,
see, I thought he was like Charlie X.
My fourth bullshit of the episode, but
no, I thought he was like Charlie X, like he had these powers and didn't know it. So he's like, I don't like you, and you disappear like Billy Mummy in the Twilight Zone.
What I thought too, and I was actually
I'm like, okay,
building up to that, and then when they got whole Jordion technobabble explanation that really didn't do anything for the episode, I was like, well,
Matt Sinclair, thank you very much, Langley.
Yeah. Oh, that's right,
Jordy's mom.
Yes.
So his sound produces these shock waves that caused a burn.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened when he peed? What disasters happened? Because if it's tied to his DNA, like what's happening?
Good thing he didn't whack off when he's there all those years. Every couple months, he's downloading something from the Spank Bank. Oh!
I agree with Dante. The biggest catastrophe was over a temper tantrum.
It was not shitty writing.
In that whole scene, okay, I was like, okay, I accept the fact that that we see them with this hollow image.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's fine. But in no way did I ever understood why we could see Gray. And why Gray could interact with things.
That was a little bit more explainable because the Hollow program saw him or registered him
as another person.
I guess because he was I could be projecting this,
right.
But because it was a Trill, maybe was able to. Was able to see him and created a hologram for him.
Yeah, but why would it look like that though? Because the Trill itself looks like a little worm.
No, he was Vulcan or something like that. He had the ears.
Well, yeah, we know that.
No.
Yeah, it actually made him look like that specific host, host of the symbiote. And I'm like, as my understanding of Gray so far was that she was connecting with one of the past hosts.
Right.
They. But then if that is something mentally within her, then why would it project out?
Well, I think the doctor did some. Yeah, he said that it was in. There must be the infusion of dilithium or whatever, and whatever, because he could go through that curtain that the doctor couldn't go through. that it sensed it and like it followed her around, almost like a ghost. It follows her around like it follows them around like a ghost. Sorry. Gray was a ghost. That's right. Right. So that's why it made the hologram. That one actually was a little bit more plausible to me than him peeing and destroying the universe with the dilithium crystals.
Speaking of peeing, did you know all their food is made of shit?
Yeah,
what the hell was that? I was like,
yeah, that was disgusting.
Wasn't it? Because all I kept thinking of those, like that big dinner scene in Star Trek VI when they had the Klingons and they're eating gack and all that shit. It's it's all shit. Because why did you have to put that in there? Really, there was no need for that scene.
When he said I've never tasted a real apple, I'm like, really?
I've had a road apple.
You might wanna.
No, but honestly,
I was the best captain because you saw that they had kitchens.
Yeah, they had a turkey on Star Trek VI, which was stupid, but they had food. But God, there was no need for that scene.
I didn't mind that explanation so much. I hated the way
the delivery.
Yeah. I thought it could have been done so much smoother and so much more effective than just "that's shit."
And again, what would she know? Because she's not from there. She's in Orion. It's like, oh, is she a delicacy? Oh no, I don't know. It was just
she couldn't hear it past her face makeup and.
What did you say? It's caviar.
The whole scene between Osiris and
the Admiral,
young Barney Miller. There, what's his name?
Young Barney Miller. I like it.
The Mummy. We call him the Mummy guy.
The mummy guy. The bad guy.
And I didn't care that much about him until that scene. And the scene between the two of them, I liked. And
I agree with you. Well, I agree with you that I liked it. Go on.
Yeah, and then her proposal, I was like, they could be setting her up as an ongoing thorn in the side of the Federation. This could be the new Gul Dukat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they killed him.
Yep. Of course they did.
And I was like,
because that's what they do.
I was so livid.
Yeah.
When they killed her, because I was like, she could really turn into something.
Well, I didn't think she died at first because she got shot. I said, oh, maybe she's just like wounded. And then they said at the end, oh no, she's dead. I go, oh, yeah. Well, okay, she's not coming back then.
I will say that I'm glad. I like the Admiral character in general. And also, I'm really glad they did make the bad writing choice to make Starfleet evil in the future.
Yeah, which is they kind of delivered that as a little bit of a red herring as to
right. We're not sure, and that's okay. I didn't mind not knowing right away, and also I felt that Starfleet was correct in not not that they weren't trusting Discovery, but that like I keep saying, it putting it in modern terms, it would be like if a Roman from 900 AD were to suddenly show up today and be like, "Listen, I got all your society problems. I got it all figured out," and we'd be like, "Yeah, that's great." I don't know if we're ready to hear what you had to say there, Caesar, but thank you.
Yeah, sure, Caesar. Come back in March.
Wait, you're eating shit now?
We were doing that back in Rome.
Did they tell that to the Discovery crew who actually had food rations on board? Like, wait, no, we're not eating shit. No, forget that nonsense.
So I did like that scene as well, and I thought it could have been so much more. And I was annoyed when they did kill her, and because I'm like, this could be a really good thing. And her proposal wasn't that bad, and he was actually considering it. And I'm like, yeah, this works. And when he said, yeah, but you can't be the face of it, I'm like, ooh, this is good. And then it all just turned to shit, just like the apple they were eating. Yeah. One question I do have for you guys is that final scene when Osiris was fighting Burnham, and she pushed her into that Matrix waterfall, whatever the hell. What was that?
Yeah,
that's
I assume
the memory
bank data core. So I assume it was some kind of a control like we now see the liquid controls.
The GUI thing.
Yeah.
I forget what it's reprogrammable matter.
Yeah.
I thought what.
Why? Because I'm not up on the technical guide, so I didn't know.
It looked like that meme of Homer Simpson when he disappears into the trees. It comes back
But I also thought, okay, if this is some kind of a control panel or data stream or whatever, then there would be a protocol to not push a person into it and interrupt your data stream or your protocol or your control.
It went in her
like a wall.
Right.
Like that black stuff that got Tasha Yar, that oil slick. Remember that? It's just like,
And speaking of safety protocols,
oh, why don't they have guardrails anywhere?
well, yeah.
In the elevator shaft. What
I
the hell?
know, right? Yeah, don't open that door. You'll fall to your death.
But okay, she ties herself off into the Jeffrey tube, and then she opens airlocks for a fire.
Yeah,
hazard
to
control.
vent it out into space. Yeah.
And I was like, again, wouldn't there be some kind of a protocol that says, "Hey, there's a life form in there.
No,
We can't air vent." I don't know.
They have these force shields that they showed in previous Star Treks. Like if there's a hit to the hull and it erupts, it's an emergency force field that closes
Like
it
the
off.
one she used in the medical bay to save
Yes.
Book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And suddenly she could open up a vent and flush people out and stuff. And then I like how she gets stabbed in the leg, but she's okay. She's running. It's just a
That's
flesh
the other
wound.
thing that bothered me.
It was like an artery. Blood should have been.
You're in our future. Yeah, you're in our future. Everybody tells you not to pull the thing out. Leave it in there.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, don't pull it out because the blood's gonna come pouring out. No.
I did laugh about that because when she got stabbed,
Yeah.
she's also trying to be sneaky, so she's trying to hide, and he stabs her, and you can see in her face, "Don't scream, don't scream."
Yeah.
And then for a second, she was like, "Do I leave it in? Do I pull it out? Do I leave it in?
Leave it in. Yeah.
It's like Stewie from Family Guy. Do I leave it in or do I pull it out? Do I leave it in or do I pull it out?
Somebody you just posted. Somebody John said that she did have a limp in some scenes, and then I was thinking, wasn't it the other leg? Because at one point I was like, I thought it was the other leg. Why is she limping on that side?
It got better.
Do you think the reason why they landed on the planet and they had the hologram do all the different Star Trek aliens is because they were just doing fan service? Like, we'll make this one a Romulan, we'll make this one a Trill. I go, why would the hologram be mixing up all the different races? It doesn't make any sense.
Again, with Doug Jones, being human, but then ultimately he had to convince the Kelpian that he was another Kelpian. And it's like, it would have made more sense, and it would have calmed him down more if Doug Jones just appeared to him as another Kelpian.
Yeah.
They needed to make this 3 parts, Johnny. So
No.
Yeah, I know.
And that swamp monster, which was one of the best effects I've seen in any TV or movie, that whatever that thing was, the ghost that was
from the fairy tale.
I like that effect. It had nothing really to do with the story. I gotta say, that was the most annoying alien in the 3 seasons they've had on this show. Either the way the guy acted, or I couldn't take it. I'm like, was he supposed to be like, because he never grew up with people? That's why he had the childlike brain. It was just
he
annoying, you know?
Yeah.
Again, that whole kind of Charlie X.
Yeah.
Yep.
He couldn't interact with any. Well, he never interacted with anything other than his mother up until like the age of 5. 6.
But that was what 100 years has happened. Is that right?
125 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
They never checked that planet out in 100 years, or they couldn't get to it because
it was buried in a nebula.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in all that diarrhea. They couldn't get to it.
And no other alien race. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Rewind back to that scene with the Admiral and Osira.
Okay.
She said, "Where's the Federation president? I don't want to talk to you, Starfleet. I want to talk to the Federation." And he kind of like, the Federation president told me to handle it. Okay, so was that a setup, or who's the Federation president?
Or there is none?
Or there is none?
Or there is none? Or it's him? Or it's somebody special that they're holding in reserve? Or
I don't know.
Or it's David Cronenberg?
Honestly, Andy, I guarantee you they'll never go back to that story point.
No.
I got a better one like that. What happened to the whole, I'm sorry, Saru, that year alone was very difficult for me, and I just can't talk about it right now. And guess what? They never did.
No.
Yeah.
She got over
it. She got over it. She's better.
And that's the other thing.
Oh.
I so don't feel like I'm Starfleet. And then from the previous week, and then this episode today, all of a sudden she's all about Starfleet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, again, this bad writing.
I have a theory. Maybe because they traveled through. Well, now that I was going to say, because they traveled into the future, maybe it screwed them all up and they can't figure out what they want or who they are from episode to episode. But then that happened in the first 3 seasons, so never mind. There goes my theory.
No, here's a Starfleet problem. The Doctor's about to go on that mission, okay? And Anthony Rupp, great actor from Rent, everybody, no problem with the guy. He tells them basically not to go because it's dangerous. Okay, isn't one of those Star Trek shows saying like danger's the name of the game and that's what we do here? You're the fucking medical doctor. There's somebody down there probably wounded or hurt. You're going to go. You're not going to send Nurse Chapel or whoever you got. And he's like, I don't want you to go. Well, I have to go. I'm like, oh, cut this scene. Unless they just told Anthony, we'll give you a nice acting scene where you could,
He's really pissy too because he got pissed at Michael. For all that stuff, sending him out there.
What did you guys think of that whole little doohickey they put on his head? It looks so cheesy Saturday morning cartoon shit. Like he made him a zombie and he's like, they use the spore drive in his eye.
Yeah, I want you to do the rest of the episode like that, Mitch.
Yeah.
And then they had that other guy who was a decent character with the beard that she kept alive because
the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, because he was
who had a floating wheelchair, by the way.
Now that actually was a fair explanation of why he was in the chair. I will because Andy, I really last year when they had a big crew shot on Discovery, and all of a sudden you see a crew member goes by in a wheelchair. I'm like, that is such fan service to the disabled, or the physically challenged, pardon me. Hey, you're out here too, and it's like, I guess Captain Pike is in his chair, but it bothered me that an active crew member was in a wheelchair. I'm like, they showed Robot Girl's got cybernetic legs, and I don't know.
He was 900 years in the future, so maybe they got rid of wheelchairs with wheels in them and got the hover chair. Maybe that's why he didn't have one.
But there is the precedent that no matter what you want to call Starfleet, it still is the military, and these people have to meet physical requirements.
There's that too.
So I don't know. Again, 900 years
that doesn't bother me that there's handicapped or disabled or What bothers me is that like you're so far in the future and you literally have wheels on the wheelchair. There's no like hover craft material like you can fly a spaceship through space, for crying out loud.
Oh, by the way, that's right. Who's Stamets' daughter? Was he referring to Adira, or did he have a daughter? Oh, because I'm like, did I miss an episode when they showed he had a daughter? I'm like, what daughter?
And now it's a touchy thing, but I found it ham-handed with Adira to begin with, that if they wanted to address the social aspect of she considers herself genderless, please address me as they or them, which I don't have a problem with having a character like that. I do have a problem with the way they handled it.
Andy, I said the same thing.
Yep.
It was very forced and very un-Trek.
Yep. Well, and also, this is from the 23rd to the 31st century where humans are fucking other species. So I don't believe that the gender issue of today would be so delicate in the 23rd or the 31st centuries.
I think I
agree with you.
I know they wanted to handle it just briefly enough. It wasn't the story. It was just an aspect of a character. But had this been TOS or TNG, they would have gone to a planet where we have a genderless race, or this race does not understand the idea of genderless.
Or they could have just addressed Adira as they from the start in several scenes and established the fact that she's non-binary.
Right.
And that's fine.
It could have been an aside conversation with someone else, like, like, hey, they want to be addressed as, this. Yeah. And that could have been the end of it. But yeah, you're right. And they keep doing things.
I feel that it's a little corny that they chose to do the addressing of they with a character that truly is they. She has multiple personalities.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I was like, that feels, I don't know, safe. Like, we did it to the Trill because they truly are a they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that, and then we're gonna take that one and we're gonna stick her with the gay couple so that the
I didn't think of that.
Is
Johnny brought that up too.
Well, Rob Burnett brought it up, and it's like, oh, so the non-binary person can only relate to the gay couple.
Can only relate to the gay couple.
And it's true. It's like they partition off the non-cisgender people in their own little subgroup.
I didn't think of that. Yeah,
I'm sure they didn't intend that, but that's why.
Braver. I think it would have been a braver thing if, like, somewhere in season 2 or somewhere, you notice like they're addressing the pilot as they, and that's it.
Yeah,
and she's there, and it's not necessarily. I don't know.
Well, again, can we get through one goddamn episode where a character isn't overwrought with tears?
Oh,
everybody's crying. Dreadlock Lady.
Yeah,
Dreadlock Lady's turn to cry this year. There's
more crying on this show than there was on all of Battlestar.
Yeah. But that's what I mean, man. I hate this crew because they're all a bunch of weenies.
Yeah.
And they're all just
But we hate them. We hate them too because they don't establish these characters. Like again, forgive me, black girl, long dreadlocks, pilot. I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know her name because they haven't established these things. No, not the eyepiece lady.
No.
The one that sits next to her.
That's
She's the helmsman.
But again,
she's the navigator.
Right, she's the hero of the episode, right? She's the hero of that episode because she goes in, she has to, because she
can hold her breath. She can hold her breath.
Right, she was a pearl diver and all that stuff. And it dawned on me that all of the characters in this show, and they start out each show with Star Trek values. Like the first of the three parters, I actually kind of liked that, all the setting up and what they were doing. There were a couple of moments in there where I'm like, oh. But then the second episode, and then this last episode, I'm like, you just blew it all up.
Yeah.
But it dawned on me that all of the people all the characters are all non-heroes.
Yeah.
Because we don't know who they are. And when they go up to sacrifice themselves or be the hero, I don't care about them because I don't know them. They just set up this woman as she can hold her breath for 10 minutes. Really? You've had 4 seasons to establish this, and you didn't. You established it literally 2 minutes before she has to use this power or this inner strength to go be a hero. So to me, they're all non-heroes. I don't buy any of this. And Burnham is the same way in the opposite way because she is the hero amongst everything. She's always going to win. Always going to win. And
Michael's here. Michael's going to save us.
Here's the best one. The credits at the end of this episode, they play the original Star Trek theme song, which I thought was a nice touch.
I stopped it way before that.
No. But they played the full orchestra. It was just nice to hear it. Just to remind you that it's Star Trek, because God knows nothing else on the show reminds you that. So they showed a credit of all the bridge crew. I didn't know what actor was which. It's like Captain Lieutenant and Lieutenant So. I'm like, there's their names. Don't know who they are, but there they are right there. But I thought that was bizarre that they played the Star Trek original theme today. I'm like, why? Are we that far gone that people don't even know it's a Star Trek show anymore?
Yeah.
Because they changed the uniforms at the end to look like the motion picture outfit, the Long John's outfit. And God forbid you're fat, because you can't wear that collar with a double chin. I caught that. I was like, hey, fuck you, Star Trek. Get a fat guy on that show. I'm serious because, look, I accept everybody's race, creed, what they look like, who they sleep with. I don't give a fuck. But have one fat guy. Well, no, now that I take it back, there's a little heavy person on the show. But I want to see Tilly wear that high collar.
We want like Star Wars, like Porkins, Jet Porkins.
And it's got this rank thing in the throat now. I was like, what the hell's that? It's like,
you know what else has been missing from Trek cast forever?
What?
TOS had people of all age on that ship.
Yeah.
You saw security guards with gray hair.
Oh, the doctor, the original doctor was an older guy. Then they got McCoy.
Dr. Piper.
Yeah.
And Dr. Boyce.
That's it. Yeah.
I want David Hyde Pierce as Philip Boyce. It'll never happen.
That's funny.
Oh, that would be
That's
cool.
what I would like to see as Philip
That's
Boyce.
funny. Yeah, I'm interested when they get to the Pike show to see what they do with Dr. Boyce.
So basically, at the end of Discovery, now they're basically a UPS delivery truck delivering dilithium to other ships throughout the galaxy.
Yeah.
That's what it's come down to.
Now it's Star Trek. Yeah, next season they're going to rebrand it as Star Trek UPS.
The Star Trek Amazon Prime. That's what it is. Man.
How about the little robots?
Yeah, Herbie the robot.
And, trying to save the day.
You knew they were going to because they put them in the credits in the beginning of the season. They had that graphic, and I was like, "Why is Herbie the robot on Star Trek?" And then at the very end, that's why, because it's going to be a big part of the show.
It felt, God, it was so
forced,
Machina, but then everything was. And again, okay, that scene, where one of the droids, robots, whatever you want to call them, suddenly shows up in the nacelle where they said they couldn't go, and somehow saves her in a split second.
Say it, Johnny.
But you see the nacelle blow away.
Yeah.
And then the next time you see the Discovery, it's fine.
No, it wasn't blown up. It was dangling. It was kind of like
well, they showed
like we had some duct tape on it, like a bat.
They did show
it's fine. It'll be good as new. We'll just duct tape it.
They did show that they could detach the nacelles after Discovery was rebooted.
They took the Mako.
I guess
it was
after
fine.
they calmed down, somebody went in there and there's like a big manual reel.
Yeah.
They just
well, they just had to replace the battery in the magnet.
That's right.
Yeah,
they took it to the same place the Mandalorian took his ship when it was all beat to shit. They were like, "Oh, we got a Mako over on Rigel 5." Okay?
Andy, I'm seriously, it's not bothering me at all. I love that the cat's in the shot.
What's
your cat's name?
She's a queen.
Queen?
Cat number 7. This is our most recent one.
And what's her name?
Juno.
Juno, lovely.
Oh.
She's named after the caseworker in Beetlejuice.
Nice.
Oh,
there you
go. Or the movie.
Oh, she's adorable.
Well, Andy, I'll yell at you for having the cat on screen, and then you look into the camera and say, "She's a queen." That's what you do.
Oh, did you like how Book was going to save the day because he could fly the spore drive? Now I know why he was on there.
Yeah.
He's our new Neelix.
Oh, wait a minute. I like what Stuart is asking here.
Yes.
Great.
Where are the androids? Yeah. What happened to all the androids?
We don't talk about the androids. We don't.
Well, I've always had a problem with androids in Trek because they always completely ignored the history of androids from the original series. Because Data isn't that special. There were androids just as fancy as him, or fancier.
Yeah.
Before
Roger Corby's.
That's it.
Yeah, Roger Corby's. Reyna.
Harry Mudd had one.
Andrea.
Yeah. No, that was also Corby's. Reyna was Flint's creation.
Oh, that's right. Yes, of course, Reyna. Yes.
That developed emotions.
Right.
So we've had all of this establishment of androids, and then we would get to Data, and he's like, "I'm an android," and I was like, "Okay, big deal."
Yeah.
And then they, that's all that Picard, the Picard season 1 was how special Data was and how unique he was. I was like, bullshit.
Well, and also, and again, going back to Picard, the problem was they tore down everything that made Measure of a Man a great episode because it's like Data is special. Mm-hmm. We don't want a race of Datas. And Picard opens up with a race of Datas on Mars that are lesser. They're short bus Datas, but still,
Wow.
That's the name of my punk band, Short Bus Data.
Short Bus Datas, yeah. Plus, they were turned into a slave race by the Federation, which I was like, when did that happen? And
the guy who caused the burn is Short Bus Saru.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but yeah,
I just did.
But that's actually
Johnny ain't taking any prisoners anymore. It's the new John for 20.
I'm sorry, I don't.
2021.
They may have given Discovery a moratorium on androids and said that's Picard's leave.
That could be too.
I doubt it, because that would mean someone's actually planning this shit out, and I don't think they did.
Yeah.
From week to week, it's like, what do we? Fuck it. No one's going to remember except for those 4 losers watching it on YouTube. What happened?
Thank you.
It
really would have been easier just to start from scratch. You flung them into the future. I had
Mhm.
so much hope, and then just you can do anything here,
Oh.
and they just.
How
Go
did the Navarians, aka the Vulcans, previously known as Vulcans, or
Right.
if they're so fast without fucking warp drives and shit when they called out for a special alert? Fucking the Navarians are here. How? There's no.
She called her mom.
Yeah, but how could they have gotten there that fast if it took 3 weeks to go from place to place?
Why are you trying to bog me down with all this common sense shit?
Because there was no need for them to show up because they didn't do anything. She's like, tell them to stand down and let us go through. Then what the hell did you call them for? And the other thing
Why,
is,
when we present you bullshit, do you give us logic?
no, listen to me. Everybody's firing on the Discovery.
They had a special effects budget and they had to use all the money.
No, you telling me
it won't carry over to next season.
one ship is being hit by every fucking Starfleet vessel they have, and no damage is done to it whatsoever. I'm like, what is it? It's a 100-year-old, 1,000-year-old ship, and it's invulnerable to all these big advanced technology. And stuff.
Yeah, that was Voyager level quality.
Why is that the way, Langley?
Thank you.
Why is that the way, Dante? Thank you.
We have them
You
doing
know what?
it.
You know what's going to happen? God, I hope the vaccine fixes everything, and there's Terrificon this summer. What are we going to do when Doug Jones is at Terrificon, and we're all sitting there looking at him? He's like, are you the guys that hate my show? But no, I love Doug Jones. I think he's great as a character. I think he's been doing a disservice because he's not getting good scripts. He's a great character, great effect. It should be the whole new Spock.
I've said this from the very beginning. I love Burnham. I love the characters. I even liked that first captain that what's his face?
Oh,
Jason Isaacs.
LaRocca?
They have great actors. They have bad characters.
Yes.
I said that from the beginning.
I'm sorry. I like Sunita Martin Green. I hate Michael Burnham.
Yeah.
I hate every character on this show.
I'm not sure if I was to ever meet her. I'm not sure if I would shake her hand or slap her face first.
No, it's not her fault. No, but you got to do this though. You got to do the Discovery delivery. I started watching that today. Every actor has the same acting style. It's like, John, are we going to do a podcast this week about the show? And everyone's so fucking serious about it. I'm like, crack a goddamn smile or have some courage. Everyone's scared to make a decision. How are these people on Starfleet? I don't know how they got the job. They supposed to drew Tippy on the back of a matchbook or something.
It's funny you brought that up when Burnham said, we needed fireworks for your birthday, sending that coded message.
What the hell was that?
No, sending that coded message to Tilly. And then she told the story of how, I was having a bad day and I crawled up into the Jeffries tube and she didn't mention my birthday. We just got drunk and laughed. Why didn't we have that scene? That scene would have been awesome. That's character development. That's what makes me care about these characters. I don't care about Michael Burnham. I don't care about, I sort of care about Tilly. I like her.
We don't want to go there.
But I don't care about these characters because we haven't had any real scenes like that.
Yeah.
Like with Spock and Kirk, you would have those jokes, that would go back and forth and that's very human of you. Yeah, that's very human of you, Spock. And he'd get all offended and stuff like that. Yeah. There's none of that here. And
there's no chemistry between the people. None.
It's like, when an outsider observed Spock and McCoy and he said, are they enemies? And he said, I'm not sure they're sure.
Right.
And we knew what Kirk was saying because of the development that we got. But if they were to say that on Discovery, we'd be like, I don't know. I don't know either.
Yeah. Franco. That's you.
No. No.
Oh, what did you think, John, about the big quote from Gene Roddenberry at the end?
I brought it up on here. I got it. I don't, and I'm glad you brought it up because I'm not sure why we needed it. In a very real sense, we're all aliens on a strange planet. We spend most of our lives reaching out, and trying to communicate. If during our whole lifetime we could reach out and really communicate with just two people, we are indeed very fortunate.
I was very offended, honestly, by that. I spend a lot of time alone. I called Andy the other day. He did not return my call still. and I'm still, I'm trying to reach at least one person, and he won't call back.
Again, they try to be profound.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I guess I'm too dense because I'm missing the point.
I kind of thought that too. I was like, either am I missing the point, or did they just do that because this is his centennial?
I suppose Saru.
Oh, is it 100 years? Oh,
yeah.
Well, I assume Saru and the alien are two people connecting. I assume Adira and Stamets and Gray connecting. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm a little dumb here too, but I realize that, and I know that's my problem. But admitting it's half the problem. I thought all the Navari, is that what Saru's race is called?
No, Kelpians.
Kelp.
For some reason, at one point, I thought they were like all gone, and he was like the only one left. Maybe I misunderstood it or something.
I kind of got that impression
because he's at the
they mentioned it in the future that it still exists, but again, because of the burn, they can't reach it. They haven't been there in forever.
He was there at the end with the little guy, and they were watching a sunset or something.
Yeah, because they had the spore drive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Discovery can go anywhere. So.
Oh, whatever. I was like, how did he get there?
The spore drive. All of a sudden, Book can do the spore drive because of his special empathy.
He could talk to mushrooms.
Into people's DNA and record it within himself.
Yeah.
He could talk to mushrooms. He can talk to the mushrooms. I can talk to mushrooms. I will go out into the woods.
No, he read the book.
Don't
you remember he took an hour and read the manual on the whole ship, and he knew how it worked, and no one else does? It's like,
look what he could do with his ship. It all comes apart and comes back together and morphs.
Legos. It's like a Lego ship. Hey, you notice they were only gone for about a day? Because originally they couldn't be on that planet for more than 6 hours without the radiation, rotting them away. But then, what's her name? Adira got there with a pill in her mouth. Why it had to go in her mouth? I think she used the jail wallet and shove it up her ass. And hold on, I've got this.
Why did she have to do that?
Why did she put it in her mouth? I don't know. Like,
because if they transported her, it wouldn't transport it wouldn't transport matter. She'd be naked, or they would be naked when they showed up, right?
Right.
Like, why did she have to put it in her mouth?
For that.
Yeah.
No.
There's
she
never been an issue with transporting matter.
Yeah. No, and she could have used the prison wallet because they're all used to eating shit anyway. Ooh, it tastes like an apple.
This radiation pill tastes like an apple. It's great.
Oh my God.
The worst Star Trek show ever.
Ever.
You know, and that's after we saw Lower Decks.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too today because they said the word lower decks in the show, and I got like that, like he said lower deck. He's like, quick, go below the lower decks. I'm like, no, don't do it, not again.
And it's like I can they all work the spore drive?
Oh, then they're all set.
I don't know.
Then all they got to do is replicate the spore drive, and they can get all the Book's people and to work on all the ships, and they don't need dilithium anymore. Right. And we fix the Federation.
They can enslave Book's people. Awesome.
Now let's get a food processor on the ship. Instead of, didn't they used to have an arboretum on the Enterprise that would grow food or some shit? I remember at one point
they did it in Next Generation.
Yeah, Data was
because Troy and Barclay were going to take a walk through the arboretum. That was their date.
Yeah, why do they? Yeah, that's a good point. Why do they have to be eating shit in that in the Federation stronghold? They could have built something.
Shitty writing. We're
they could have built a whole ship just to like grow food.
Hey, lunch is ready.
Exactly.
We're having this again. I love it.
Who wants the Carvel?
Even since the original series, we've had an arboretum on the ship.
Yes,
that's true.
Yeah.
Everybody on the ship is
because Kirk took
and again
into the flowers that time. They were
you got room for the Turbolift City caves, and you don't have room. You have a fucking garden.
Everybody's excited because one crew member has diarrhea, so the menu's going to change.
Hey, excellent! Taco Tuesday.
We're having soup today.
No, and Stamets can bring in his grand piano, and no one says a word about it.
That's another thing.
Yeah. Where are you putting that? Hold on.
Everybody
we don't have room for a kitchen. I'm bringing a piano.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So stupid. That elevator thing. I was just staring at that going, oh my God, where in the ship is this? And I'm just like, they're sleeping. Remember the old show? They were like little bunks, like a goddamn fucking submarine. They're like sleeping on top of their photon torpedoes, you know?
Space is limited in the ship.
Space is limited. But suddenly you got this goddamn Doctor Who thing going on here. That's what I was thinking. It was Doctor Who, and that was the TARDIS going every other way. I'm like, what? You know how they used to use the ladder sometimes when the elevator wasn't working?
Jeffrey's tubes, yeah.
Well, even in Star Trek 2, he just opened the thing and climbed down. Holy fuck, the elevator is so big, yet there's a ladder that's right alongside of it, so you could go down it, no problem.
On the original series, they didn't show that, but they had an extra episode that they never aired, where Kirk and Spock like walk into this whole section of the ship they never knew existed. Like, where did this come from? We've only been using these 3 rooms. We didn't know that all of this existed.
No. And didn't the Star Trek 5 that he put the ski boots on and they went up the elevator shaft when it wasn't working? And they went up and the numbers changed. There's a blooper in it because they think, where the hell was that? And that was in the future.
Shaft.
I love that scene. That cracks me up.
Stupid show. The fucking bridge is the size of a football field. Like, God forbid they say, hey, can you hand me that thing? Sure. And you got to run like
the elevator shaft and the shit. This show is just like.
They got to watch it. They got to. Like, when
it's the dumbest Star Trek show ever.
When I see a bad movie, I go, why didn't they just get a fan to come in a room and say, look, NDA, you can't talk about it, but just watch this and give us your honest opinion.
They supposedly had that.
Well, who were they?
I don't know, but they supposedly had Trek experts in the room, helping them up. Trek-experts, if you will.
Trek-experts.
I guarantee you, there are people that only watch Voyager or Enterprise.
I don't know who they were. I don't know if they even watched the cartoon. Maybe they watched Lower Decks, and that was the only Star Trek they had. God, and they spend so much money on the show.
Yeah,
millions of dollars an episode.
And the show is literally shit. Literally, that's what they were eating. It's literally shit.
So when they had that big banquet dinner that Saru had to get everybody together,
the whole crew had to work on that.
Yeah, the ship. Yeah, it's potluck, everybody.
Yeah, it was like 6 months worth of work. Save that. We're having a dinner. Thanksgiving dinner.
I hated that dinner.
You like the sauce, huh? You like the sauce. It's a special sauce.
That dinner.
Yeah.
We saw again. I can never remember her damn name.
Peace Lady Detmer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deathlock. We call her Deathlock.
Yeah, she's Deathlock. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
She has been freaking out all season.
Oh yeah.
And that was never ever touched upon again.
No, she got her senses back when she got to be the Han Solo that time. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
I'm all better now. Well, what the hell did you have?
Yeah.
Batteries.
You see
Energizers. Hey, Debbie Downer wasn't in the crew, and they had another girl there with her hair pulled back. I go, who the fuck is that? What, was Debbie Downer not here today? When they were all going down at the bottom?
Wasn't she in that final scene?
Yeah,
no, they had a different actress when her hair was pulled back, and I go,
no, I think that was her.
She didn't dye her hair? Because Debbie Downer's a blonde. This girl was a brunette.
I thought I saw a blonde. I saw close to blonde.
Oh, because I'm like, okay, that's the dreadlocks. That's Deathlock. That's what did I call it? Tina Louise Tilly when she had the eye makeup on.
Don't make fun of Tina Louise Tilly.
No, Dawn Wells.
We can't make fun of Tina Louise. She's the ultimate survivor.
That's true.
She is. Yeah.
Last Islander standing. That's true.
God damn this show.
And the rest.
Oh, and they brought back the Indian Starfleet guy that she saw in the first episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I didn't know was a big cliffhanger moment, and then they hugged each other. I'm like, was that
why is that a cliffhanger?
Well, I was like, was that a storyline? I didn't remember that.
Yeah, it honestly took me a moment to remember who he was.
Oh, I knew who he was right away.
No, I know who he was, but what was the point of bringing him into bookend?
Because now the Federation's okay. It's linked up again.
But how bad is it that over what 4 seasons of the show now, or 3 seasons of the show?
Three.
That's the character I remember. because he had more character development in that first episode. And then when he showed up here, I remembered who he was. I'm like, oh, the Federation guy who's been lighting the Federation torch but isn't a Federation guy finally gets his commission. How is that possible? But like the crew of the Discovery, I have no idea who any of them are. We're calling them Deathlock and Dread Lady Girl.
Asian guy.
And Dr. Colbert, Stephen Colbert. And then there's Stamets, because he's actually a good actor.
They're all full of shit.
Oh, and I saw Janet Reno was on there at the end.
Yeah, Janet Reno.
She was fixing Herbie the Robot. Yeah.
That's right.
Herbie the Robot's on the show now. Yeah. From Fantastic Four.
I can't wait for next season.
And yeah, I was going to say, we got at least one more season of this shit.
Are people going to start? Is there going to be somebody on the show that starts not listening to Burnham when she gives a command, because she's the captain now? Imagine how it's going to feel.
Well, that's
like, do this. Fuck you.
I wonder if making Burnham the captain is an opportunity to allow other crew members to take lead in the story moving forward. Probably not.
And do it Burnham and not listen to what she tells them to do. You would do it, Captain. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I mean, everything so far, good or bad, has linked to Michael.
Yes.
Yes.
Her fault, or she's
exclusively.
Or whatever.
Exclusively.
She's the only one.
To stop doing that. That's been their formula for.
I guess.
No, she's the Red Angel.
Now, if the whole thing is, now they're going to be, Star Trek UPS, and they've got to go from place to place to make deliveries.
Keep on trucking.
That does set us up for more episodic,
right?
Exploring stories. But
maybe
supposedly that's what we're getting with.
Well, they're not exploring
brand new world,
places.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, they're not exploring new places. They're just going to go to existing places that haven't had dilithium in a while.
I like that comment.
He's not wrong. Jonathan is not wrong.
No.
Yeah, they're going. That's right.
They're already going to places they've been to. It's like Star Trek. Oh, yeah.
They're not
Star Trek been there.
Just seek out new world. No, basically, it's like to refill your milk bottles. That's what
they're
they're
going to Grandma Trill's house.
Yeah.
They're going to everybody's house that they already know. That's what.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And all the shit we learned in Deep Space Nine, like the Gamma Quadrant and the Delta Quadrant and all that's been forgotten about in 900 years. We had no Borg, no Klingons, no other Romulans, or it's all.
I'll bet you Borg was deliberately taken off the list as well, because somebody somewhere would have mentioned.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool if Deathlock had like a Borg implant in her head? That's why her head was so fucked up. No, but she couldn't have, because she's from the past and they don't have Borg. Yeah.
Maybe in season 4 there's going to be another burn, but it's all about their digestive tract and how all
that shit.
And then the food regulators will go down.
No.
Oh my
Can't
God.
you get like E. coli?
We're spending way too much time on that.
No, because it was disturbing. It was like, oh, wow.
Pretty gross.
What about Riker's pizzas? I don't know.
No. No.
All right.
That's all I got.
Yeah,
I think I'm done. I think I'm done shitting on the show.
Oh, you ate some of the show?
All right.
You know what's a good book?
Was something
Alex
we took
Ross.
away good?
Hold on. Andy, go ahead.
What was something we took away that we liked?
Well, like I said, I liked the Admiral, and I liked the fact that Starfleet was not portrayed as a bad entity.
Okay, I liked when Tilly was in the Mirror Universe. I liked that outfit.
I know you did.
I liked it.
Andy, we didn't ask you. But go ahead. What were you gonna? You guys finish what you liked. Go ahead.
Who, me? I liked Poor Man Deadwood guy. That one episode where they were in the bar and they had that little like.
Oh yeah.
Episode 2 or 3 this season.
Yeah.
They had to get the stuff and the ship was being eaten. That was a good show. I have all of them this season. That one I don't mind. I watched it all. I was like, oh, okay, that was entertaining. And I thought it was going to go someplace, but it never did.
Yeah. Again, I liked the chain I really, really, really came to like Osira, especially during that scene with the Admiral. And I was like, man, they're setting up something great. Something great. She is calling the Federation on the hypocrisy of their capitalization or capitalism. Like, don't tell me you don't use money, because you deal with other people. You deal with other races. And that whole setup was great. And then, you know what? This sounds convoluted. Kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Just kill it. This sounds like some work for the
Well,
writers.
even though they killed her, did that wipe out her whole syndicate? They all blew up with that ship. That was it.
Well, they said that it fell apart after she died.
Oh,
in the voiceover.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Andy, what did you think of the Guardian of Forever and Giorgio's whole storyline this season?
Mixed. I liked seeing the Guardian Forever. The inner fanboy just kind of did the Kermit wave.
Yeah.
But then the whole, my name is Carl. And I was like, okay. It seemed like they were trying to make it too much. Hey, here's RQ. That's what it felt like, more so than the Guardian. And if the Guardian was used as a weapon during the temporal wars and was now investigating Giorgio by setting up an entirely new timeline to see if she was safe to do his plan with, if he's that if he can do that, then why didn't he just go back and erase the temporal wars?
Holy shit.
And never been weaponized.
Mm-hmm.
And he got a job as a writer on Star Trek Discovery. That's
here's a question. Does the Guardian of Forever show up in Giorgio's new show, or does he show up next season here?
Or
that's going to totally be Quantum Leap.
I said to Suntress, she's in that parallel universe doing her show? She's in the mirror world?
That's the question is, did Carl send, because I don't think it's really the Guardian Forever. But
really?
Because I'm being facetious.
Oh, okay.
But did the Guardian send Giorgio back to regular universe 23rd century, or did he send her to the mirror universe and she now undercover will be doing the mirror universe section 31, which is actually a good spy entity?
Well, I think she had to go because she was becoming disincorporated or something. So she couldn't stay in our universe. She had to go back to her.
If she's in the world. Prime universe, then she's still going to be coming apart.
Right. So he sent her back to mirror.
I thought it was the combination of both time travel and other universe.
Well, no, the universe, her mirror universe is further apart too. He explained that. So sending her back when they're closer, so that she wouldn't dissipate like that.
That's what literally was making her face break out.
No.
Yeah.
So she's going to be the Gary 7.
Leave it to Cronenberg to explain all the weird shit.
Yeah.
He was there. I liked he was on the bridge.
I think he's going to be the president.
Oh.
He might. Yeah. No. You know what? That might be.
Yeah, because why was he on that thing when they met everybody? I'm like, why is Cronenberg there? I mean, he's cool, but why?
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, I didn't understand him coming back.
Yeah.
They're setting him up, maybe. Maybe they're doing something right. Who knows? But I have another question for everybody. What's happening next week?
There is nothing.
We're not doing this next week.
No. I mean, there's no Trek show, because wasn't there talk about a new Trek show like every week for like the next year or so?
Well, I mean, they did 3 in a row.
COVID kind of just blew that all up, I guess.
No, they did 3 in a row from Picard to Discovery, but that's why I was looking up when Prodigy starts, and according to what I'm reading online, it doesn't start till August.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I thought that's what we said Prodigy started, and I was wondering what happened to that. Maybe it got delayed because of COVID or something?
Maybe, but I'm surprised because, I mean, it sounded like they were voice tracking with Kate Mulgrew already when they finally announced the show and said, hey, by the way, this is our big surprise that Kate Mulgrew is going to be on the show as Admiral Janeway. I don't know.
We could start watching.
Any other word on this supposed Cisco series?
Cisco's got a show?
Is it Ben Cisco series?
I didn't hear that.
Talking with him about a Cisco series.
Avery Brooks, I thought, was done with Star Trek.
You wave enough money and nobody's
done it's the Harrison Ford thing. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I didn't know that.
Very standoffish, but apparently they've been talking with him. There's been that news, and then the news of Whoopi showing up in
Oh,
season 2.
yeah.
And also, I heard Crusher is gonna. I heard Beverly's gonna show up in season.
Oh
2.
God!
Really? I'm
Wesley,
so excited.
Not Wesley. I got scared when you said that. I was talking to my buddy last night about Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He said something I never thought of. The reason why Cisco had to go back into the, what were they called? The people.
Oh, the Prophets.
The Prophets is because he was being punished because in that season opener, that last season, he defied them. He started arguing with them like, "You're not gods. You're this and that, and you play with people's lives. Why don't you start acting like a god?" And they said, "Oh, the Cisco must be punished," or something like that. And that's why at the very last episode he went in there. I'm like,
I'll tell you because I started rewatching it, so we'll.
Yeah, when you get to that, let me know if that's true.
I thought in the fire caves,
yes, the flame.
He burnt up, and so all that's left is his essence, and that's why he's in the wormhole with the prophets.
Yeah, because Dukat got burned up, and then he disappeared too. So
maybe they'll bring them all back as androids. Oh.
Well, I wish they would do that proposed season 8 that they talk about in the DS9 documentary. And by the way, I was trying to think, and there was other news. They are in the midst of crowdfunding a Voyager documentary in the same way that they did the DS9 documentary.
Cool.
Yeah, I just saw that. I don't think we should bank on an Enterprise documentary.
No. By the way, what we left behind, I think, is on YouTube right now.
Yes, it's free. You can watch it with ads.
Yeah, my friend. That's how it came up. My friend Steve watched it. He's like, "Oh, this is great." I'm like, "Yes, it is." It was.
I'm glad they did that. No, it's cool.
Okay, so with bringing everybody back, some way or another, can't they do something with Sulu?
I know.
Something, anything.
Well,
you got hearing problems, Mister. Fly her apart, then.
They can bring. What was that actor's name?
He's pretty old now, though.
Christian Slater could be the new captain because he in that one scene when he's
there you go
hanging out in the hallway with his arm. I'm like, what the fuck? You're reporting to your commander, and you're like, "Hey, Captain, we just got a report from the Enterprise."
Oh my!
Oh my!
Found out he got to do that because his mom worked on the.
Yes, yeah, and he stole the uniform. I remember that. I don't know. What are we going to talk about? WandaVision, Johnny? We going to start watching Marvel shows? That starts next Friday.
No, we can take a break. I think we deserve a break after having 3 shows in a row.
Combat pay.
Picard, Lower Decks, and now Discovery. Good Lord. We suffered through a lot of bad Trek, my boys.
You should watch all the movies again. There you go. Insurrection. I saw it on TV yesterday. Oh, wait. It wasn't with Star Trek. It was with reality. Scared me for a while.
Nice.
Everyone kept saying the word insurrection. I go, is that episode coming on with Anthony Zerbe? Oh, yay.
That's hilarious. Oh, man. F. Murray Abraham stormed the Capitol.
F. Murray Abraham with his skin being pulled back.
What did Abraham do to you if you want to F. Murray Abraham?
Exactly.
Poor
F.
Murray Abraham.
Or kill.
Yeah, Mary. No, F. Mary. Yeah. F. Mary kill.
Oh, boy. All right.
Wow.
All right.
Yep.
Well, it's been fun, I think.
Yes, indeed.
Out of all 3 of them, what would you watch again? I'd watch Picard again first. I'd never watch Lower Decks.
How about none? How about none of them?
I just told you I'm starting to rewatch DS9.
DS9, yeah. My buddy's watching Enterprise. He missed that show years ago.
The fact that they're all streaming
the last
available.
Season of Enterprise is great.
The last season of Enterprise? I agree.
That's
they
great.
finally got their shit together and they canceled it. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
It was too late.
It went, yeah.
UPN already wanted it off the air.
Mm.
So
I wonder what CBS. Oh, they got the stand. I go, what are they using to get people to subscribe? Because I might cancel it right now. Actually, I'm thinking about it. Going, there's nothing else coming on. I'll just cancel my CBS All Access for
take a break until August.
Yeah, the stand hasn't grabbed me so far. I'm on episode 3, and I'm okay.
Oh, really? Oh, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the time watching The Expanse finally on Amazon.
I should finally watch Orville because I've never.
Oh, is the Orville coming on?
See, and now Franco will disagree.
I love that show.
I thought the first season was I really like the second season. I'm looking forward to the third season.
And do you know when that starts?
That is one thing.
When does that start? Season 3?
Trek fans are up in arms that the new phaser looks like the Orville phaser.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I'm on a Star Trek prop forum. Whenever they bring up the new phaser, people are like, they just ripped it off from the Orville.
That's hilarious.
I like when Burnham took off her comm badge and like slid it across the floor to distract the guy. I was like, wow, that's pretty lame.
It's because she's full of shit.
I like Tilly's delivery. I can't go on. It's not because I'm the most out of shape of all you people.
No, it was because she was wearing that outfit from the Mirror Universe.
It's too tight. Too tight.
She wears it under her clothes at all times.
I like that outfit.
God, when you get off that.
And her hair, I love it.
Her hair, yeah. Tammy Faye.
Yeah, so apparently, ever since Deep Space Nine, the evil versions must all be dominatrixes.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's what
I would watch 15 seasons of that every year.
Sure. No, you're right about that.
This
Absolutely.
week, Tilly Torch. No, the best one was Kira Nerise's version, who was like all kind of things. She was having sex with everything.
Everything.
Odo and because Odo could stretch himself in weird positions and stuff. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Major.
Did she have a guy with a dog collar on too, or am I thinking of a different show? She did.
Yes, she did.
Okay, I was like, was that on Star Trek?
Wow. And she was always in that silver outfit. It looked like she had to get a running start to get into.
Yeah.
Get her for Awesome Con, actually.
Terrific Con, buddy. Awesome Con's another show.
God, I'm sorry.
It's right there, for God's sakes, Andy. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at my hand. Look, I could be on Star Trek. Look at those special effects. That's what John saved all the money for this last episode.
It's like Apollo.
Yes.
It's like Apollo's hand holding the Enterprise.
Forgive me.
Nice. All right, Kirby Crackle. That's it.
Yeah, Kirby Crackle. That's what
we're done talking Star Trek for a few months. When Star Trek is back, we'll be back. Andy, thanks for joining us on this episode.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely.
John, that your sponsors made a great book. This is the Alex Ross. Tell Sal Abernathy that I got it for Christmas. I don't know if
we
you
can't see you or it.
Hold on. I'll turn off the green screen for 1 minute, and then you'll be able to do it. It's a fantastic book. There we go.
Oh, why? I can't do that. Now I can see you. Oh,
wow, yeah.
Look, it's got Star Trek meets Star Wars in there. That's one of the best pictures.
Absolutely.
Alex Ross is a genius. We all know that already, but this book is fan-damn. Look, Superman versus Darth Vader. Come on. Little known art, like you saw in the commercial before the show.
It's all true.
It's a great book. And even the slipcover, I don't think anyone's seen this. Look at that. Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, and Steve Ditko. I never saw that until tonight.
Well,
just before the show started, I took off the dust jacket. I was like, wow. So go out and buy it. It's on his website. It's on the Alex Ross website.
AlexRossArt.com. Absolutely, man.
Fantastic. Best book you'll get this year.
So, all right. Well, listen, thank you very much, boys. Well done. Live long and prosper. Do better than Discovery. And enjoy the show in your head because it's 10 times better than the shit we're getting on the screen.
Not the food that's shit.
Yeah.
That's right.
In my head, we're all in original series uniforms. So
there you go.
Season 4, Star Trek Rubbing the Nub. That's what it's called.
Goodbye, Nubs. Take it easy.